I may have a bias because I watch more Big Ten than Big 12.
Okay.
And I've been unimpressed with the Big Ten. And so I feel like Ohio State exposed Michigan is overvalued. And I think Ohio State a bit overvalued. And again, it may be because I just haven't watched the Big 12 as closely this year because I know the Big 12 hasn't been great. But I would rather see Oklahoma and that offense, the number one offense in the country, in the college football playoff over Ohio State.
You know, if Oklahoma's offense comes, that defense got to come too. Whitlock.
Exactly.
Whitlock. No, sir. I guess I watch a healthier portion of Big 12. This is an Oklahoma team. Horrible defense. I mean, not just in the points they put up, but you could just watch it by lineup, by assignment, by discipline. Just bad, wide open touchdowns. Watching them go against West Virginia, I'm like, is Randy Moss somewhere like trying to go back and play? This is insane. I'm watching this. And it's not great football. It's just great offensive production. I want to see Ohio State in the college football playoffs for many reasons. One, they've beaten more top 25 teams. 4-0 against those teams versus Oklahoma, just 1-0. So that's not enough. I see the body of work for Ohio State. Two, let's respect what Ohio State is doing. They've rallied. Like, you talk about a loss and then galvanizing themselves and rallying. And in a game where most people were saying they're going to lose this game and probably it's going to be the worst game they lose this year because of Michigan and that defense, they go out there and give them a 6-deuce Impala. They 62 on Michigan's defense. Are you kidding me? So for all those reasons, let's not even talk the economics. And if there's a tie, everyone wants Ohio State in the college football playoffs. It's even.
Well, you know I do because, of course, I went to Ohio State.
There it is.
But the optics don't look good when you lose to an unranked Purdue team.
49-20.
Okay, and like you said, Ohio State 4 top 20 wins with a chance against Northwestern to get one more.
All right.
Okay, but the loss for Oklahoma to Texas was on a neutral site.
3-point game.
So when the optics don't look good when you put it in that aspect, but when you look at it, if you're watching that Michigan game, you say, you know what, Ohio State's defense has gotten a little bit better, even though they've been much maligned throughout the course of the year, just like Oklahoma's. But the way it sits right now, the AP poll has Oklahoma 5, coaches poll Oklahoma 5. Power rankings may have it flip-flop, but unless Oklahoma loses that game against Texas, I don't see how Ohio State leapfrogs.
Oh, that's going to be the team. One, look, I'd rather play Northwestern and dictate my fate than have to go against a team I already lost to. But for me, I think that the way that they leapfrog them, obviously, is a simple way of just winning their game. And
does that just have to be a blowout? What if Oklahoma just barely beats Texas and Ohio State just routs Northwestern?
It's rooting interest for Ohio State. Let's just be real. Like, this is all big business still.
Right.
In that college football playoff committee room, when they close the door, when the cameras are off, they're like, is there any way we get Ohio State in this conversation? Think about your eye roll. This is something that they talk about in boxing. How do you grade? How do you judge a boxing match? Which dude would you rather be? You want to be, just don't even get caught up in how many punches and stuff. Who would you rather be? I do not want to watch Alabama go against Oklahoma.
Why not?
99-23. Like, what would that score be? It would be insane. I do not want to see that. The eye roll would be way stronger. I want to see Ohio State give them a.
Why wouldn't it be a 55-51 game?
Because Alabama's defense is not giving up 51. Stop it. You already know that. That's my point. So Ohio State gives me the swing for the fences that I want to see in that 1-4 matchup.
We've seen Purdue curb stomp Ohio State.
See, Maryland. Maryland put up 51 points.
51.
And that's the problem because I know that Urban is going to prepare his team, and we've seen it against Michigan, but then does it go back to this? Michigan, number 1 rated pass defense. Fine. But in the Big Ten, who else is prolific in scoring like that? So I don't know how relevant that really is to the conversation in regards to Ohio State. The game plan was great, especially on the defensive end from Urban Meyer and the defensive coordinator. Don't get me wrong. And I love to see from the optics Ohio State because we travel.
Yes.
We travel. When it come down to it,
yes,
we sell out and we take over. But I just don't see it happening, just like last year when they lost to Iowa, okay, when they shouldn't have lost. I don't see how it happens unless Oklahoma, which could, because Texas, neutral side again, takes that L.
Look at you trying to prepare yourself. You know you're rooting against everything you say.
You know I am, but I'm being realistic.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to San Antonio in the NBA. where the Spurs are off to their worst start in 15 years. A lot of people are saying that's because they traded Kawhi Leonard to Toronto in the offseason. Saturday, Coach Greg Popovich fired back. He said Kawhi was a great player, but not a leader. Here's what Kawhi had to say about that.
I heard about it, but, it's just funny to me because, I don't know if you're talking about last year or not, but I guess when you stop playing, I forget how you lead. But other than that, it doesn't matter. I'm here with the Raptors, and I'm focused on the season and not what's going on the other side.
No, seriously, if that doesn't sound like a great leader, I don't know what does.
Well, I'm not talking to you right now. That's messed up.
He didn't buy into it?
If that doesn't, he sounds like a great leader to me. I'm going to run through a wall for him. Look, Greg Popovich is a bully and a hater. And he's playing in a league that's really soft, and he's frustrated. His way of bullying players and all that stuff is going out the window, and the whole league caters to players and treats them like, they're so precious and sensitive. And so he took a little shot here at Kawhi. It's the wrong. Pop's time has passed. He's reached his expiration date. It's a bad look, in my opinion. He sounds bitter.
It's a horrible look. Another pop shot, as I call it. He stays salty of late, especially with this Kawhi thing. It really is because he spent so much time and energy, and look, with amazing results, building that culture. And how dare you, Kawhi Leonard? I thought you were the next one in line to carry this torch. Kawhi's going somewhere to light it. And now Popovich is like mind blown. No one wants to be a Spur anymore. Now they're playing non-playoff basketball in San Antonio right now. Hey, he's been in 21 straight playoff appearances. That may be broken this year. And you're still taking shots at a guy who's not going to suit up for your team. Look, I don't know who they employed with this initiative. And it started with Popovich. It went to Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Bruce Bowen. He even lost his job doing it. Like, what the hell are y'all doing out there just shooting at Kawhi Leonard? It's a horrible look. They need to move past it.
Well, here's the thing about it. Pop wasn't asked a question about Kawhi. It was a follow-up question about leadership to Patty Mills. And then he kind of threw that in there. You got to keep in mind, this San Antonio Spurs team built their organization through drafts and free agency, but not big-time free agents at the time. So they've always had somebody in line. Their roster really is not that good, okay? When you drafted Kawhi, you knew he wasn't a vocal person. You knew he wasn't going to be a vocal leader. So why even come out and throw about this? The thing that really pisses me off is that when Kawhi was there, they loved Kawhi because, one, he didn't get caught up into the Hollywood stuff. He was quiet. He was professional. He went about his business. It was a San Antonio way. But now, when Kawhi was trying to look out for himself, all those same attributes that they said about him, now they looked at it like, well, we could never understand him. We couldn't read him. He wasn't vocal. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, that means they took it for granted. It's just as simple as that. They took it for granted. They melded in that Kawhi was going to be a Spur. Why? Because he's quiet. Hey, Tim Duncan was quiet. Guess what? He's going to be like our next Tim Duncan 2.0. It's not that simple, man. And like you said, it's a horrible look when you prop someone up for all the same reasons that you're now trying to tear him down.
Well, look, I'm going to defend Pop because I don't want to act like I haven't been there in terms of, you develop and invest in someone, show them. They didn't even know what Louboutin shoes were before they met you.
Preach.
These are red.
Never carried a Louboutin shoe. Never carried a designer handbag in their life. And then they run off someplace else. I put you in that position.
No, you ain't do jack. You just dressed up what I was.
Yeah. So I get where Pop is coming from. Yeah. Again, if he doesn't play for Pop, they went out. Remember, they traded for him, I think, for George Hill or someone with the Pacers early on. They went out and got him, built him into this great player. And when it was his time to take over, he says he didn't want it. I would be a little bit bitter. I would hold my powder, though.
I don't want to pile on, Pop, but this is a felony. This is not a misdemeanor. Like, seriously, they had the Admiral talking bad about Kawhi last year.
Everybody was.
I mean, it was like all guns blaze on Kawhi. And this was literally bullying because this was a guy who was not fighting back. He was quiet. He just went about his business. He protected his body.
No, he went about laying down all last year.
Well, that's because they misdiagnosed it. But who's going to have the last laugh?
Thank you.
Kawhi's going to have the last laugh. That's all.
You don't want to play through a misdiagnosed injury, and then I put that on film, and then you now pay me according to that.
You're not healthy.